Oh yeah. What's happening, everybody? Once again, it's 6 p.m. or reasonably close. I mean, maybe a minute or two. It's all good. I can be late. It's all good. Late, early, it's all relative. What's happening? It's your boy Onyx here at Going Full Nerd. Yo, let me get rid of this funky outro music. Let me rock it out. Let me get it low. Let me get it low. Hopefully, I'm hoping my audio is actually pretty cool. I'm not trying to be clipping on the audio. Sometimes it gets a little funky. But what's happening, everybody? Once again, it's Sunday, 6 p.m., and it's your boy Onyx here at Going Full Nerd. Thank you for the check-in. What's happening to my boy Omar and Red for the early check-in? Appreciate it. Please remember to hit the video with a thumbs up and a like. But that's always what we ask. So let's go ahead and talk about the shameless plug. We always start the show off with the shameless plug. The shameless plug is here. So the mic sounds funny. Let me see. Is this a little bit better? I was a little loud, but maybe if I just lower my tone, what happens is I get excited. And then when I get excited and I start getting loud, the mic gets a little scratchy. But maybe hopefully that's a little bit better. That's a little bit better. But anyway, so as we were saying, it's shameless plug time. So if you don't already do so, please make sure that you hit like, share, and subscribe to this live stream, however you do it, whatever you want to do. And that's youtube.com/going full nerd. In addition, you can check out the podcast on the replay, the audio, while you're driving in your car, sitting on the toilet, listening, doing whatever you do. I don't judge. You can check it out on Pandora, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and its home, anchor.fm/going full nerd. You can also follow me on Twitter, and that's Onyx, ONYXXX1969. So just kind of making sure I put that out there. Hopefully the mic sounds a little bit better by now. Because if I raise my voice, then we get the little crackly, and then that takes away from the show. That takes away from it. But we gonna make sure we do this thing right. So as I was saying, last week I was on a little bit of a rant, but I think I'm gonna have to take it back to its roots. Let's take it back to its roots. I'm a video game dude. So, as a video game dude, we just had some stuff go down this week, and I'm kind of cool with that. I'm kind of cool with that. So I titled this show, and it's a call-in show, so you can actually call into the number, and I'm going to address a few things towards the end. But here's the number. Now, here's the deal. This is the thing. Sony showed their ass this week. Sony had the release or pre-release or pre-advertisement, whatever you want to call it, their introduction to the world of the PlayStation 5. Now, this is basically them showing their hands in the console wars, if we could still call it console wars, because I think the lines have already been drawn. People play what they're going to play. You got Team Xbox, Team PlayStation, and then you got the kids out on Nintendo. I mean, it is what it is. That's what we do. Me personally, I play whatever I like. I think I'm a little kid. I mean, my wife got a Nintendo Switch. I pick it up every now and then. I'm not going to lie. Get on there. Xbox, I've been Team Xbox for a minute now, and I do my thing. But here's the thing, I haven't owned a PlayStation since the PlayStation 3. Okay, I legitimately did not get a PlayStation 4. Excuse me, I didn't pay for one. I got some peoples like my man Red that comes into the chat. I think he won like two of them. Oh, he won one from Taco Bell when they was giving them joints away, and people got on PlayStation. But I never heard any of my core gaming crew. And my boy Ernest, I think he has one, or his son had one. But my core gaming crew did not really make a migration over to PlayStation 4. Now, admittedly, PlayStation 4 had some good looking things. I mean, really, I considered PlayStation 4 late in the game only because I wanted the Spider-Man game. I liked it. My grandson liked it. I'm big superhero dude. So it's like, you know, ah, but I got a PlayStation 3 and it really didn't get a lot of play. I mean, I got my PlayStation 3 about the same time as the Xbox 360 when that was out and when that first came out. And the thing about it is I really only used it as a Blu-ray player because the Xbox 360, which was the competing system at the time, did not have a Blu-ray player. Remember, Microsoft did that debacle with HD, DVD, and all that stuff. So, they had a few hiccups in the past, and I think they've gotten stuff straight. I think they've calmed down in that instance, and it is what it is, and I'm cool with that. But you know, I've been Team Xbox for a minute now, from the Halo days, original Xbox One, I still got a working one. Xbox 360, I still got a working one. Xbox One, I've got actually two of them. I got one for me, one for my wife. It's cool. But the deal is, am I going to, when it comes to these next gen consoles, these things, I'm just waiting to see price tags. They're just going to be over the top. I know they are. I think the Xboxes when they first came out cost me like maybe 300. It was about that one release price. I didn't put that in my research for today, but I think we paid like about maybe 300 on launch. I have a day one edition Xbox, you know, fresh off. I stood in line at Best Buy at night. I think I got a video of it on YouTube buried somewhere, but when I picked up the Xbox One, day one launch edition. The controller had the little special day one etched on it. It was kind of jacked up. The launch game was like Forza and all that. And ooh and ah. Backwards compatibility wasn't a thing when it first came out. But here's the thing, so Sony put their stuff on the table. And if you saw the opening of the video, just bring up the thumbnail. This is a very sleek, stormtrooper esque looking console. And they say it's actually pretty freaking big. It is what it is. And when I say it's big, I'm not talking about big as far as stats. I'm talking about physically big is what they're talking about. So, for a regular dude like me, income is okay. I'm not balling, but I'm not broke either. I got to be careful with my choices on purchases. Why should I get a PlayStation 5? Sony, what have you done to make this appealing to a guy that's got to spend some money? I mean, looking at it, I'm going to have to make some adjustments to my entertainment media setup because that really doesn't look, I mean, going back and forth, it really doesn't look like it's going to fit inside my the entertainment center. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's cool. It looks good. It's pretty. But a lot of us old school cats, we're gonna have to rethink our entertainment centers, how we put it up there, how we attach it, and things like that. So let's talk a little bit about what Sony talked about. I'm only gonna hit a couple of things. I'm gonna mix the truth and the rumors all together. So you know, if you fact check me, I mean, I'm not denying that anything I say is absolutely 100% true or rumor, but I'm going to just go by what I found in the latest press releases and news stuff. I mean, internet detectives pretty much say, that the PS5 is huge, over a foot tall, foot tall, about like this. I mean, truthfully, to me, that's about the same size as an Xbox or a PlayStation. That's not much difference. I mean, but it is what it is. They've been showing pictures of the new Xbox. They call it the refrigerator, but nobody has released official dimensions or sizes. So it's interesting. Um, Here's the thing. there's two versions of it. There's a digital only and one with a disc drive. So I'm assume just like now, like with Xbox, the one with a disc drive will probably cost a little bit more. You'll be able to play Blu-ray, DVD movies, and physical game discs on it. Obviously, I can dig with that. Um, they have a digital only where you got to download. Here's where the key becomes, you know, how much hard drive space do you have? Can you connect additional hard drives? These are questions that you got to make sure of. Sleek white console, black trim, looks taller, thinner than its competition, the Series X Xbox, which I think I'll do another video on eventually. You know, they say you're going to get other peripherals, other add-ons that are, and knowing Sony tradition, they're going to go ahead and say, okay, you could buy this camera, you could get this headphone, you could get that all separate, you know. But here's the deal. They did not say a definitive price for either the digital edition or the full service console. Hmm. Interesting. And that's what scares me. That's what keeps me from saying, damn it, I'm getting a PlayStation 5. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. That's one thing that will stop me is because I don't know how much it's going to be. I mean, think about it. I mean, you got to plan these purchases. Now, all my PC people are like, well, stats. We got computers. We build it to the games we like. Yeah, but let's let's save the PC people for another day. Let's save that for another day. So now the question popped off in the chat room is all about it's all about the games you could get. And I'm sorry I missed one call. I don't know why it did not ring, but we'll get back to that. I kind of see that. Okay, but we'll get back to that. So check this out. So we're going to talk about what games can you get with the PS5. All right. So I'm going to talk about three games. Well, actually, five games. I'm going to talk five. And five games that I'm noticing. Now, the first one is the PlayStation exclusive. This is the game that got all the brothers and all the comic book nerds hyped up. And that was Spider Man Miles Morales. Now, boom. Spider Man, PlayStation 4 exclusive. Spider Man Miles Morales, PlayStation 5 exclusive. It is not, according to Sony, a completely different game. It's a continuation of the Spider Man game started in PlayStation 4. Now, here goes my thing. For all you PlayStation 4 owners, are you going to be upset if you can't play Miles Morales Spider Man without buying a PlayStation 5? That's a question that just hasn't been answered. But here goes the thing. That's cashing in on the popularity of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and all that. I mean, that right there is a big thumbs up in the Sony PlayStation console, and you'll be able to go ahead and say, you know what? Boom, let me go ahead and do this. Um, you know, it's going to launch with the PlayStation, so a lot of people are going to jump on it. I'm really still thinking about being a day one adopter, a launch person. I don't know. I got my thoughts on that, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. The second game that I'm going to say that they showed that I really kind of enjoyed was the Gran Turismo 7. Now, racing games, they got, ebb and flow, ebb and flow. I've been playing Forza on Xbox, and that's cool. I like it because it lets you use cool cars and stuff like that. Gran Turismo has been around since the OG PlayStation, if I remember correctly. But Gran Turismo has like been the what they call it, the standard of a lot of racing games. It looked very, very good from the renders that I saw. I don't know if it was actual game footage and all that stuff. It's not that bad, but to me, it's not enough to say because the game, I mean, let's be honest, racing games are just that. They're the same game rehashed. Yeah, we're going to get a couple of new cars, we're going to get some nice graphic tweaks, but how much can you put into a racing game to make me say, I got to dump X amount of dollars into a next gen system? I mean, eventually we'll be forced to get next gen systems. I mean, how many of us are still playing PlayStation 1s outside of the throwback editions that they've made? How many of us still have old school PlayStation 2 games that we cannot play on any other system because of backwards compatibility? We'll talk about that a little bit more too. So you understand what I'm saying? You see my point. So, it becomes a whole lot that you gotta try to figure out what the heck is going on. You gotta figure out, you know, what's going down and you know, see how, you know, things are gonna play out. I mean, it becomes, kind of confusing when you start getting games like that. It doesn't have a release date. Um, it's always been an exclusive. Came out back in, it wasn't the original. It's PlayStation 3, 2013 it came out. PlayStation 4 saw Gran Turismo Sport 2017. So 2021 or so. It is what it is. All right, let's talk. Let's get into it. Another game that made its life in Sony, which is Resident Evil. Resident Evil 8 was teased for this. Highly anticipated. It's the successful horror series. The full name of Resident Evil 8 is Resident Evil 8 Village. It's going to be on PlayStation 5. I don't know. I didn't see if this is an exclusive or they're going to go ahead and let Xbox play along. Um, it is what it is. So you're talking about this being a sequel to Resident Evil 7, and it's a different setting, and instead of our normal zombies, it's going to have werewolf style or werewolf esque monsters. Hmm. Okay. I the zombie genre, the Resident Evil umbrella core, especially with everything going down nowadays. I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of over it. I think we're living Resident Evil, but not as dramatic. But hey, it is what it is. But that seems another plus to the column. As far as game titles and things like that. Now they talked about a game, and the graphics looked real good, and it's Horizon Forbidden West. Now, here's where I'm getting kind of afraid because Sony does a lot of these RPG style, like your Final Fantasy with the Japanese animation graphics and things like that. Not the cartoony ones, but the live action, like the Resident Evil CGI type cartoons and things like that. So, the thing about it, it's a sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn, which is a game I really never caught wind of until I looked it up, and the thing about it is it has no release date, but it's a woman protagonist going across America alongside cyborg animals and things like that. I mean, the original game sold 10 million copies. I mean, that's a lot, but not sure, man. Not sure. I don't know if that's. I mean, it looks good, but it still doesn't grab me as something. Now, here's something that really kind of grinds my gears, but it's smart. It's real freaking smart, and that's Rockstar Games throwing in their 2 cents, talking about we're going to make Grand Theft Auto 5 for the PlayStation 5. Now, if you know, Grand Theft Auto 5 came out when Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Then when Xbox One and PlayStation 4 came out, they updated it, made the online a little bit better, and we were able to access it through those next gen systems. And it looks like Rockstar is going to do the same thing. Now, here's the deal. Some people would be like, oh, why don't they just make a brand new, you know, we need to go ahead and make a brand new uh, Grand Theft Auto. What city do we make it? Who do we get in it? Listen, Rockstar Games ain't stupid. I mean, this is the thing. A lot of games nowadays are the same. They're the exact same game. They just rehash and put a different title, maybe tweak the graphics. But Rockstar basically said, you know what? There's nothing wrong with the graphics, which we'll get to that in a second. So let's go ahead and just upgrade it for the system. We're going to get PlayStation, some exclusive stuff in the online, and we're going to re release it again. So for a lot of people, Grand Theft Auto 5 is going to get a third release on a third system, and you're going to have to pay for it again. Yo, tell me that ain't gangster. Rockstar knows what they're doing. Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, y'all still doing that old traditional. Rockstar went next level and be like, screw y'all. We're gonna give you the exact same damn game we had for the other two. You're gonna pay the $59 for it. And oh, by the way, we'll give you some extra content to tweak that out a little bit because we're expanding the game anyway. I haven't been on Grand Theft Auto 5 in a minute. I think I still got about 4 or 5 mil in the bank and a penthouse and a bunch of cars in the garage. I might have to get on it and do some live streaming just to say and talk some smack. Now that's talking about coming out the second half of 2021. So they're not even coming out launch. They're coming out like a year from now. So it is what it is. But let's talk hardware. Okay. Pretty much if you got a PC, your PC, you could buy a PC stronger than either than the Xbox or the PlayStation coming out. You could do that. So peep this. So let's throw this out here. Let's throw this out here. Things that will draw me to it. 4K ultra high def Blu-ray. If you don't have a Blu-ray in your house, you're wrong anyway. But here's the deal. 4K ultra high def Blu-ray, cool. Now what they've done is they've effectively told me I need to make sure I got a UHD or 4K or better TV. Okay, so in order to get the most out of this system, I need to get a better television or a better monitor to connect it to. Now here goes my thing. If you've got just a regular ass flat screen that you've been using for years and you're going to still consider, don't talk to me about graphics when it comes to using your new machine because you can only perceive what your screen allows you to perceive. I don't care if you broadcasting in 100K, 500 frames per second. If your TV can't handle it, your eye can't handle it. And truthfully, your eye can barely handle it. So it is what it is. They're talking about the RAM. Okay, each of the new next gen systems, and we're going to focus mostly on PlayStation, 16 gig of RAM. I could dig that. That's how most computers, for me to be kind of good on, for me to be good with, 16 gig, cool. My PC, 32. It is what it is. So, 16 gig of RAM, console guys, we're not going to argue with PC. It is what it is. But that's kind of cool. Now they're talking about the CPUs. Now, 3.5 gigahertz, they're talking about dual core, 8 times Zen 2 core, whatever all that means. I mean, I'm a nerd, but I ain't that nerdy. I ain't deep into it like that. Obviously, faster processing speeds. I mean, it is what it is. But what is a game system? It's just a mini computer. That's all it is. And it may not be as powerful as many people's laptops, may not be as powerful as many people's desktops, but it's a game system. It's dedicated for games, and that's what you're going to get, and that's what you're going to do. I could dig with that. The GPU, AMD, Radeon. So pretty much they're going to deal with it. Talking about 10.28 teraflops of memory. Okay, 13. Fine. Supporting ray tracing, 3D audio, and all that good stuff. Like I say, upgrade your headset, upgrade your monitor. You're going to see what you're going to see. You know, you got to upgrade everything because you're going to, like Low Cut said in the chat, you're going to disrespect the gaming system if your monitor and everything else ain't going to be there. It is what it is. So, now they're talking video output. Here goes the deal. I don't have a 4K TV. I don't even have a 4K monitor. So having 4K means nothing to me. 8K support. It doesn't mean that it comes native 8K. It means it could possibly support displaying in 8K. Don't know how that's going to be. Your mileage may vary. 8K televisions are going to cost you. If it's Sony, I know Sony going to bleed you. Sony going to be like, yo, we going to get you the 8K TV, but you going to pay a pretty penny. And 120 hertz refresh rate. That's cool. That's smooth. Most of the YouTube videos are 30 or 60. Your eyes really can't handle anything past 60. So it is what it is. Maybe I'm wrong about that. It's going to come with an 825 gig solid state storage drive. That's going to fill up quick. If you've got games on Blu-ray, ultra high def Blu-ray drives, that 800 gig is going to go away. I mean, the comparable new Xbox is going to have a terabyte, so I can't wait to see what the I can't really wait to see what the hard drive, external hard drive situation is going to be. That's going to be interesting. Okay, so we're going to see how that works. We're going to see how that kicks out. So it is what it is with that one. And I'm cool with it. So we're going to see. We're going to see. But pretty much everything else is still open for discussion. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what if there's going to be, you know, true what's that, game sharing. Is there going to be a required internet connection? Is game installs going to be mandatory like some of the games we have now? Yeah, I feel what my man Loca said. You gotta get at least 10 terabytes of stock. I mean, the last update on Call of Duty Modern Warfare, got people out there struggling if you don't have an external hard drive. Can we share games with people who don't have a specific game? Are we going to be able to do live streaming like we do? Is there going to be VR support like there is on the current game system? So there's a lot of stuff they didn't say. There's a lot of stuff they didn't put out. There's a couple of things that I got to go ahead and put out there. And that is, we've got the different live. You got Xbox Live, and then you've got, what is it, PlayStation Plus. Are there going to be increased prices with that? The backwards compatibility, that's going to be real interesting because Sony has only said we are going to have backwards compatibility for PlayStation 4 games at this point, while Xbox said, "Yo, we're going to roll it all the way back. You can use your old accessories. You can use games from Xbox original, Xbox 360, and Xbox One." So, what makes it worth it, and why should I get a PlayStation 5? I don't know. Hey, it's still out there. It's still out there. And it's still on the table. Because part of the thing that I am going to also say is I don't know if, and this is me personally, if I want to be a launch person again. I mean, yeah, I was cool with the launch on the original Xbox, but as the cycle went on and they did upgrades, they sent software pushes, but they also did hardware changes and they made them smaller, more compact, easier, better cooling, things like that. So to be a launch person on the hardware really makes me afraid. And that's why I may not get either system in the beginning. I may just let it happen. I mean, I remember the red rings of death on the Xbox 360. I went through like maybe 5 or 6 of those. We're all beta testers, folks. They're going to release this, they're going to get our money, and we are beta testers. Don't let them fool you. Okay? So it is what it is with the gaming systems. It is. We gonna wait. Yes, wait until the bugs come out, and then once the bugs have come out, then they'll start reducing support to the current gen system. As long as I can play across Xbox Live and cross-play compatibility, if I got friends that get the new one and I still got the old one, and I can play with them, and I'm still on the old one, that's fine by me. Take a hint from Rockstar, take a hint from Call of Duty, let the cross-play happen, you know? And Red Rings of Death, yes, they left nasty in our mouth. I think between, there were millions of sales of the Xbox 360. I think between me and Red, we went through a few of them. I think Ernest went through a couple of them. So, it is what it is. Then also, I will throw out there, and this is one thing that I really, really gotta say. Let me take a sip of my adult beverage. And that is, the cool part about playing these games is I'm not going to say they keep you young, but they keep your mind agile. They're puzzles. So, even if you don't get a brand new game system, I am going to suggest to people get game systems. Find something that keeps your mind agile. You know, people talk about, nowadays old age. People talk about, you know, getting sick and just being bored and things like that. Get a game, get into it, enjoy. Yeah, it's becoming big business. It's not for little kids anymore. They got gaming leagues, they got things like that. But sometimes you just got to find something that's going to go ahead and get you straight. Now, I kind of like that, yeah, the ventilation, the Xbox Series X. I don't know how big it really is, but it looks huge. I'd have to do some serious adjustments to my setup to get one of those and put it up. That's huge. But the PlayStation seems pretty straight. I mean, should I get it? Yeah, I probably should just because of the Spider Man. And that's probably the only game I get for it. Honestly, that's the only game I'd really want for it. Everything else, pretty much, I'll stay an Xbox person. Um, it is what it is, folks. I mean, it is. I'm sorry that the call-in line didn't work well. If anybody does decide they want to call back in, I think I saw my man's pop in. One of my men's from New York. I see the New York area code. If y'all want to try to call one more time, get it picked up, see if I can get the audio right. But if not, you know, speak now or forever hold your peace, people. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Basically, that's what we're getting. These are PCs. It is what it is. And hey, we enjoy it. So check it out, folks. That's pretty much all I got for you guys today. I appreciate each and every one of you. I will check out the technical difficulties on why I did not hear the call in line go off. I got to double check that. But anyway, thank you all for joining in. Please do me a favor, folks. If you haven't already done so, hit the thumbs up. I think I recognize your number, but it's all good. Hey, calling numbers open 7 days a week. Leave a message. I can replay your comments on the next show. We could always make that work. Hey, y'all. This is your boy Onyx. I'm done. We're going to get back to talking about some shows. I did it. I know that I talked about it. Should I get HBO Max? I did get HBO Max, and I'll have my review of the initial opening of HBO Max, launch content, and all that. I'll talk about that another time. But for the rest of y'all, I'm going to hit y'all with the famous line. If you can't say anything nice about anybody, don't say it. Send it to me. Just remember, Black Lives Matter. This is your boy Onyx. I'm out of here. Peace. And there's that funky outro music.